Ángel Hernández, perhaps the most contentious figure in Major League Baseball's umpiring history, has announced his retirement, drawing the curtain on a 33-year career that was as storied as it was controversial. Despite his pleasant demeanor and the ability to engage warmly with players, Hernández's legacy is overshadowed by a series of high-profile blunders that have left an indelible mark on the sport. Hernández, who began his MLB career in 1991, was often described by players as an affable and outgoing individual, traits not always prevalent in the high-pressure environment of professional baseball. One American League player even referred to him as a sweetheart, underscoring the personal charm he brought to the diamond. However, this affability could not mitigate the frustration many felt towards his umpiring decisions. The announcement of his retirement on Monday afternoon was met with widespread jubilation among baseball fans, who took to social media to reshare clips of his numerous erroneous calls. Hernández had become emblematic of poor officiating, and his departure was seen as a positive step for the sport by many enthusiasts. A current MLB player captured the sentiment succinctly. "I don't think many players disliked him as a person. He was just so bad at his job." This candid observation highlights the dichotomy between Hernández's likability off the field and his perceived incompetence on it. Hernández's career was punctuated by several notorious incidents. In July 1998, he made headlines by incorrectly calling Atlanta Braves outfielder Michael Tucker safe in a game-ending play at the plate. This was just the beginning of a series of controversial decisions. In 2001, during a game at Wrigley Field, former Chicago Bear Steve McMichael publicly criticized Hernández, leading to a memorable broadcast moment where Hernández was visibly upset and McMichael was ejected by the crew chief. More recently, during Game 3 of the 2018 American League Division Series, Hernández had 3 of his calls overturned by replay within the first 4 innings, a testament to his contentious officiating. Despite his below-average career ejection rate, Hernández was no stranger to confrontation. His final ejection came in April 2022, when Kyle Schwarber unleashed a tirade against him for a wildly inconsistent strike zone during a nationally televised game. Even in spring training, an unusual time for ejections, Hernández managed to expel Cardinals pitcher Lance Lynn and manager Oli Marmol in quick succession on March 9. Hernández also stood out in a predominantly white, English-speaking umpiring community as a Cuban-born, Miami-raised Latino. He offered Spanish-speaking players a rare opportunity to communicate in their native language, a significant but often overlooked contribution to the game. In 2017, Hernández sued MLB for racial discrimination, asserting that he deserved promotion to crew chief and more playoff assignments based on his tenure and experience. MLB countered by highlighting his poor performance as the reason for his lack of advancement. A 2020 court filing by MLB bluntly stated that Hernández was unsuitable to serve in a permanent leadership role and umpire in MLB's highest-profile games. This stark assessment reflected a widely held belief within the sport. Hernández's metrics further validated these critiques. According to umpscorecards.com, his performance in calling balls and strikes was consistently subpar. He had not officiated a World Series since 2005 and had not been part of a league championship series since 2016, indicating a clear lack of trust from the league in his abilities. In his retirement statement, Hernández reflected on his career with a sense of fulfillment. "Starting with my first major league game in 1991, I have had the very good experience of living out my childhood dream of umpiring in the major leagues. There is nothing better than working at a profession that you enjoy. I treasured the camaraderie of my colleagues and the friendships I have made along the way, including our locker room attendants in all the various cities." Umpiring in MLB is notoriously challenging, requiring both emotional resilience and physical endurance. Hernández's career, marked by frequent controversies and a combative reputation, made him a familiar figure in the sports landscape. His frequent misjudgments and confrontational style turned him into a social media scapegoat, emblematic of the challenges and imperfections inherent in the role. Within the baseball community, Hernández was often the butt of jokes rather than the target of anger, a symbol of the humorous side of human error in sports. His personalized license plate, reading, "Out," captured this self-aware, lighthearted aspect of his persona. Reflecting on his early passion for umpiring, Hernández once shared that as a teenager in Miami, he eagerly anticipated the end of his own games so he could don his umpire gear and take control behind the plate. This lifelong passion for the role, coupled with his contentious career, underscores the bittersweet nature of his departure from the game. As Hernández steps away, the sport moves forward, closing a chapter marked by one of its most distinctive and debated figures.